How's it going, Aquarius? Soul Tiger's here with a special story for this wonderful frequency. So, some keywords here is optimistic views to keep your eye on the prize. Will help you see through these tough times that they don't last forever. Small victories do count. Don't forget that. Cleanse out your energy, Aquarius, by taking a nice shower meditation and making sure to keep aligned with sobriety at that time so you can fully cleanse out stuff. Really feel the presence of that moment in the now, bringing in that mindfulness. So definitely something that we're seeing right here, right up front, that we're kind of, shouldering is our challenges. Our challenges, what we don't see in the background. Could be somebody who's in our energy. We're having a problem taking a chance on some things. Maybe we feel like it's not worth the gamble. What could that have to do with? It has to do with maybe releasing an old cycle, an old way of how you carry yourself, how you view yourself. Maybe a cycle that has to do with certain personalities that we've dealt with for a long time. We have water sign here. So definitely some stuff that has to do with the emotions. Or it could have to do with particular water signs as well. I really don't like to point the finger at others. That's why I say maybe it has to do a lot with our emotions. It has to do with the very foundations that we've built through the relationships around us, what people have shown us. And maybe there's something here that we got to put an end to in order to open up to something new and something different. Something else we have is earth signs here. You notice how this earth sign and the spy come out in the same directions. There's definitely a challenge here where we're holding on to something as security. There's also something here that we're not taking care of. We're not taking care of ourselves about whatever it has to do with whatever situation. But also we're being too fixed in one way of seeing things, especially when it comes to the things around us. We gotta be careful. We got to be careful when we get so concreted in one way. Maybe we're so concreted in one way because there is communication that hasn't happened. Maybe we feel like things haven't been resolved yet. Maybe it has to do with commitments. Commitments that didn't happen or did happen. And again, we didn't feel like we had good enough reasons for how everything worked out. Something else that we're not seeing is moving. Being able to change our stability, change our view into our stability, change our view into how we feel about things, evolving how we feel about things. This is going to have to do with our challenges. And again, and our internal home that resides within us. Ooh-wee. There's a lot going on here. Honestly, I feel like this has to do with a lot of different areas for you, Aquarius, because when I was cleansing your cards, even the fire signs came out. So this does have to do with the passions. This has to do with your inner stability, and this does have to do with your emotions. But the one thing that isn't here that I haven't seen yet is the air signs. So it's not really a mental thing. This has to do with your stability. This has to do with your emotions. This has to do with your passions and being able to see if you can take a chance on things in the future because of how stuff has worked out with other things. Let's go ahead and take a deeper dive into the present. Ancestors, spirit guides, what else needs to come out? What else do we need to see? What else needs to be revealed for the Aquarius community? Holy moly, it's a lot of left and right, but I feel like a lot of it is right here on this side. You've definitely kept moving forward. You kept having to go and develop new things, kept having to bring about progress. But it could be that you've only been working everything in the one direction, leaving yourself not to see the other direction of things, you know, to see that bigger picture here. And that was something for Gemini. Oh no, actually it was Libra. That was something for Libra, and their lessons is being able to take a step back to see that bigger picture here. So let's go ahead. We'll start from left and we'll work our way right. So when it comes to not having that stability, holding on to old things, maybe it has to do with people intruding in on your energy at one time. We have this Page of Wands here. Maybe there's been a lot of tricks in your past. Not tricks as like like Lady in the tramping kind of things, but I mean like a lot of people creating illusions for you. And maybe that's something that you're very passionate about, is not falling for other people's illusions again. And this is something that really lights a fire under your rear. This is something where you have a block up, a strong boundary, but this boundary creates a block for you. Other things that you're not seeing is we have a Six of Swords here. Confused on being able to move forward, do something different. Then we go to the Five of Pentacles, keeping yourself confused when it comes to getting out of the cold and things, and being able to walk away from old ideas, old feelings, things that are driven from the past view. Remember, you have grown from then until now. And something here that has to do with this communications is Four of Swords. So certain things that feel unresolved to you are the very things that are holding you back, are the very things that make you feel not successful when it comes to your emotional side of how you view yourself. It could also make you feel like a little less. It's something that definitely takes away from your energy in the sense to where it's hard to see yourself investing in something else, someone else kind of thing, something else. And what we have here is our wheel. Our wheel in reverse. And the wheel is represented by Sagittarius. There's something here we're not having optimism about. We're not seeing that there could be an other side of things. There's something here that we haven't put an end to, and it only feels like it's one way kind of thing. Like I said, it has to do with something that's unresolved, and it's unresolved because we've had relationships with this person, this place, and our thing, and stuff has worked out in a way that left you feeling like you can't take chances with others, especially when it comes to you relying on having stability with others. Commitments, and commitments require some kind of stability there for you to feel grounded in things. So something else, a few other things we have here is you don't see that this is the very contract that you have. This contract has to do with you seeing that you are able to handle things in your kingdom, that you have been able to conquer conflict, many different conflicts in your life. But I feel like it's more physical. It's been more in the physical world, whereas in the emotional world, in your inner home, you're not feeling it. You're showing up, you're making the moves, you have people in awe with you, but if they actually knew how you felt on the inside, they'd be like, whoa, how are you still doing it? For an example, I'm an Aquarius, and I think I've mentioned this before. I have high anxieties. I definitely have my insecurities. I definitely, you know, a lot of procrastination. There is some emotional instability there. There is just, you know, a shyness. And there's sometimes where I can be very, very closed off when it comes to, could be holding grudges. No, not could be. It is holding grudges towards past situations and stuff like that. So when people see me, though, they've seen the moves I've made, they think, wow, you're such a brave person. How do you do that? And I'm just like, deep down inside, I'm just hitting things from a logical view and just taking those steps. But deep down inside, I still feel the same. I'm still scared. I'm still battling that social anxiety and stuff. And I feel like for the Aquarius here, if you were actually to see how you've been handling your world, how you have created that stability, how you have conquered challenges, the different wars in your life, you would view yourself a little bit differently. Your inner home, how you work in your inner home, how you move in your inner home would be a little bit more stable. So that's something here to consider, Aquarius. Definitely, you got an 8 of Pentacles. You've been working really, really hard, and this is all a part of your contract. Oh man, look at how this all comes out. This is your moving. This is your water signs here. This is also on the other side of taking a gamble with things, ending old cycles, you know, opening up to new commitments, seeing that there can still be good commitments out there. Look at that. I'm going to show you. We have 3 of Pentacles talking about working with others and contract. Then we have the Emperor handling our kingdom, making the moves we need to make, not only just to take care of ourselves, but to take care of others. Showing that we've been putting in work to get to what? An Empress type of energy. Fertility. Trying to be that better person, whether it's being a better sister, a better brother, a better mom, a better dad, a better co-worker, a better aunt, a better uncle, a better individual. And this is stuff that you're not seeing. This is stuff that you hide yourself from. And maybe that's a part of ending an old cycle, is stop hiding yourself from who you are. Something else you're not seeing. Yep. Temperance here. All about rebalancing yourself, being able to pour into yourself right there. Page of Cups, having a new beginning, maybe bringing in a new fresher look when it comes to your emotional side, when it comes to how your passions have led you from the past until now. And I'm seeing a person who's had really good intentions all along the way. You may have made mistakes. You may have took some gambles, some chances on people who weren't really aligned with you. Maybe you took more than one chance on certain relationships and you got burned in the end. But the thing is, that was teaching you all about who you are. Those relationships helped you become a yin and yang energy within. Not only can you see things from the light, you can see things from the dark, but you're able to walk in between the lines, especially when it comes to working with others. There's been a lot of success in your healing here, a lot of success in not totally closing yourself off to a point where you stop believing. Definitely you've been following some inner guidance. You know that putting in the work will get you somewhere. That's what you know. You may have not known what you've been working for, but you knew that if you did the work, you would be somewhere else. Woo. Kudos. Kudos, 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 Aquarius. But sometimes, and I believe this, we had the white light oracle mention this in the story last time, sometimes there's certain parts of us that we can heal while other parts are still catching up. And I feel like it's definitely the emotional side of things. You know, a lot of people say Aquariuses are heartless. A lot of people say that Aquariuses are emotionally withdrawn. Those are people who have not won over the trust of an Aquarius. I'll tell you that right now, because I have a Scorpio friend who is learning that Aquarius signs love on a very deep level. Like, it's very, very, very deep. But again, Aquarius just won't love anybody. Aquarius just doesn't give that to anyone. And you have to be careful with that, Aquarius, especially if you've had past experiences, again, where you've taken a gamble on things and things just didn't work out the way it really, what you were hoping it to, and it left certain energies always harboring in your background. So just be careful, just knowing that we can evolve from there, and we can heal ourselves, and we can look at different commitments in our future a little bit differently than what we do now. That's all a part of the game here, getting closer to that inner seed that comes from that higher power. Is we have to continue to evolve. When we choose to stay in one type of perspective, then we choose to stay stuck. Always living that fear, that trauma every day, because that's the perspective that we're carrying with us. Just know all this energy now, from this full moon in Aries to the new moon in Scorpio, talks about us confronting the conflict, our inner wars, especially when it came to the different relationships that we've had throughout our lifetimes. So if you feel like, you are not showing up in time, you're actually right on time with the way energies are working. Just know that. Alrighty, so let's call in the angels of protection. Angels of protection, help guide us as we navigate the Aquarius's block. Please keep us safe. What is it that needs to come out for this block? What is it? Ooh. What it has to do with is things that are stacked up on top of each other. Maybe one experience after another when it comes to certain people in our lives in our past. Maybe we couldn't get those experiences to shift with them, no matter how we showed up for them. This is kind of like what I told Gemini, is you can't control how other people feel. You can control your reactions to it, though. Just know that you can control your healing from it by taking one step at a time. But we cannot control how people treat us. We cannot control how people view us. We cannot control how people talk about us. We cannot control how a person loves us. Again, the things that we can control is how we love ourselves, how we view ourselves, how we talk about ourselves. Those are things that we can control. Those are things that we can practice as well, whether it's in the light or it's in the dark. So let's go ahead and let's talk about it. There's definitely something in your past that you can't walk away from. It's something that's been really, really hard, and you've been hard in the judgment about it, especially when it comes to people, places, and things investing in you. Maybe there's a fear that, things don't last forever. Maybe there's a fear of abandonment. Maybe there's a fear of rejection. Maybe there's a fear of being always replaced. These are very big conflicts and inner wars that we do have with ourselves. So something else that we have here was we have wisdom. The High Priestess. High Priestess to the Chariot. There's things that you know, that you have known since your past. But the thing is, you've been in an environment that's definitely blocked you, or you had to block yourself. You had to tone yourself down because you're just too stinking smart. You can read between the lines. You can anticipate people's behaviors. And see, if you outshine sometimes people, then people will receive you in a jealous way. So maybe there's been times in your life you've really had to dull yourself down to keep others content. You have to be careful with that. That could be something that you also carry with you. Maybe it was really hard to fluctuate in the things that you love, to like really bring out the fullness of it, again, because you're afraid of how others will receive you. Then we have this number 9, contemplation. How to trust your inner guidance versus how to trust others. This is something that's really been hard for you. When you hold yourself back for others, that means you trust others to validate how you feel. Instead of you going off to your intuition, you reaching your full potential by following the guidance. You know, on one hand, you're like, if I go off and I really shine it, who am I going to piss off? Versus if I don't shine too bright, then not many people are going to be targeting me. You know, you've kind of been going through those extremes. Follow inner guidance or follow the crowd. Who do I want to please kind of thing. And that's really hard. Something here is we got this 10 of Staves. Creating healthy blocks. Creating a healthy way of carrying our burdens. Carrying everything that we've been through. And this is something that you don't understand, is that you've been able to carry all of this from then until now. Instead of letting whatever's been happening in the past slow you down or even block you in, you still got up and continued. Like I said, kudos Aquarius, kudos. So we have balance here, and this is going to be our temperance here. So we have balance, we have a magician, and then we have a Knight of Pentacles. You know, it's hard to create stability for yourself if you've always been in an environment that is unstable. And I feel like you've had people in your past who were making moves against you, investing in making moves against you, investing in trying to make you feel less and knock off your balance due to their insecurities. It could have been an older person in your life, most definitely. Ooh, Aquarius, this is what spells it out. You had an older person in your life, definitely at one point, who was supposed to be a teacher, was supposed to be somebody that you could lean on, should have been a supportive kind of community in your past. But this person was overreactive. This person was dramatic. This person, if you shine too bright, they would come in at you, creating a veil of deceit, attacking you personally in a place where they knew that it would sting. Why? Because you were so, what I hear is damn amazing. You were just so damn amazing. You know, there was just something really special about you since you were younger. And this is the truth. What's sad is sometimes you can have a very special person being brought up in a very horrible environment. You could have a very special person who's very talented in their career end up in a horrible work environment. This is something that's kind of been a cycle in your life where you find yourself holding yourself back to appease others. But in doing that in that time, you've created even more insecurities about yourself with the things that didn't work out. Or maybe it's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm doing too much. But just know your doing too much has brought you the success that you have in the now, Aquarius. Don't forget that. Where others wouldn't invest in you, you have been steadily, unknowingly at times, investing in yourself, even though you could have been withdrawn, you could have been high anxieties, and you're just doing everything logically. Now it's time to open up to seeing things from the emotional side of things. When it comes to what you've created, seeing that you've been creating your stability, whereas others were trying to take it or are still trying to take it from you. And so far, you haven't been defeated yet. And I think this is something, this story is here to show you that it's okay to shine bright, Aquarius. It's okay to shine the way that you want to shine. It really is. And whoever's been trying to dull your shine from then until now, that's on them. That is on them, because where they messed up is they only focused on your light. They couldn't go within and see their light. That's what it was. And I would say that's an inner demon. They're battling their inner demons, and their inner demons were winning, whereas you didn't let your inner demons win. Like I say, kudos, 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 Aquarius. All right, so let's round this out with the conclusion. You know, I just seen a flash of light just now, Aquarius. That flash of light tells me that even though you haven't been conscious of it all the time, that you have been steadily listening to the guides. You've been steadily trying your best. You've been steadily not giving up, that there is more out there for you. This is why you've worked hard from then until now. There could be some things that you are definitely blocked off to, but then again, logically, you've worked towards things because you believe in certain things, even though you may have a block to it. So it's time to let the healing happen of other parts of us, Aquarius. Other parts of us. So something that first I see right away is this carrying connections. This is something that you're at odds ends with. Carrying connections versus your boundaries, versus the things that you've worked hard to heal. And one of the things that you're worried about is to get in relationships with other people, places, and or things. You're worried about your boundaries. You know, do I have to let go of everything that I've worked hard for just to compromise? Or maybe if I try and do something again with something else, you know, how much of myself am I going to be allowed to bring out? Am I going to have to dull my shine just to appease somebody? This is something that weighs really, really heavily in on you. But the thing is, when we evolve ourselves from certain places, from certain people, from certain things that were of low frequency, then we start to move up. And when we open ourselves up to the new level of things, then we start to find people of better matching energies around with us. For myself, it's taken some time for me to realize that I am starting to find my soul family, my soul tribe. And these people aren't even related to me. They're not. And I would have never imagined in a million years that I would find these type of people in my life at any point. I always brag about this Scorpio. This Scorpio is an amazing person. She's an amazing friend. And I've met tons of Scorpios in my past. My brother's a Scorpio. His wife was a Scorpio. Then I had another brother who married a Scorpio. So I've always had these Scorpios in my life, and then I moved from all those Scorpios, and then I worked for a unevolved Scorpio. Then I was like, Scorpios are crazy still. So then I ended up meeting one of my good friends who's a Scorpio. This lady that I'm taking care of is a Scorpio. I've had clients get on my tables recently that are Scorpios that are amazing. But if I would have closed myself off thinking all Scorpios are the same, I wouldn't be meeting these ones now. And I sure as hell wouldn't have as many members a part of my soul tribe as I do now. And the 2 Scorpios I have now are teaching me quite a bit. So definitely letting that emotional side evolve, especially when it comes to our heart, and letting things go, letting not just things go, forgiving things, forgiving how you held yourself back for others, forgiving others for being so ignorant and pushing you to hold yourself back when it was a time that you needed support. That is something that is really important right now as well. Something else we're not seeing, and it comes on having to create movement, changing the movement within you. Like I said, looking at what you've created, how you've been creating victories in your life, how certain things that you went through, you didn't let stop you. You kept moving forward. You kept reaching with good intentions, wanting to create something different for your future. Understand that, see the victories that you've had from then until now. See how you've done things different from whoever this past was until now, and not repeating their mistakes, not letting them get you stuck. Just know that. Oh, this is special because when I was cleansing this deck out, this was the very, very last card. What is this last card? Well, I'm going to tell you, it lands on this 8 of Pentacles. It lands on the truth. It lands on this Page of Cups, being able to give ourselves a fresh view when it comes to our emotions, letting us evolve emotionally, especially past overbearing energies, because we have the Angel of Love here, bringing love into the situation. Whoever this overbearing energy was, that was on them. You did nothing to make them treat you how they treated you, and that's okay. That person sat there and did what they did, acted how they did, because they were in pain, because they were not aligned in love, light, and compassion of the divine. They let their inner demons win. And being able to hold love to that, opposed to meeting that with hate, meeting that with anger, means that you're going to open up your heart chakra. And you're going to let some healing happen, especially when it comes to evolving your emotions. Remember, you can't control how somebody feels. You can't control what somebody does with their free will. That was on them. That had nothing to do with you. Something that you're little at odds ends with is being able to open the door to the spirit, the flow of things, understanding that things were happening for a reason to get you this strong. To get you this strong, especially when it comes to looking at yourself, the reflection of yourself, and the things that you've been co-creating with the divine. And that's been co-creating, opening this door and walking in it to your personal healing and happiness. Remember, you could have went off in a totally different direction. You really could have went off in a different direction, much like this person did in your past. You know, this person was very, very unbearable at times, untruthful with you, wanting to hold you back, not wanting to see you be as charismatic. Why was this all here? Why did you go through this just to gain a backwards judgment into things, feeling like you're not worth the investment? Why did it take dealing with this energy in order to create some kind of balance within you, a new balance within you and how you see yourself or even how you go about things? Why? Because it was a part of a contract to where you learned that you did not have to have the same fate as them, that you were able to confront those challenges, you know, that challenge the commitments of people around you, those people who you took chance on over and over and over just to get the same kind of cycle going, just to sit here and deal with the same kind of thing. But it was meant. It was all meant, because if you didn't see those people, you wouldn't have been able to bring a yin and yang energy balance within you to where you can walk between these energies, being progressive at the same time as showing love, you know, keep developing at the same time as showing kindness, being able to go exploring while having compassion type of thing. And that was a part of you manifesting things, a part of you bringing things in, this magical being for yourself, even though this whole time you've been having trouble on how you view the connections, how you view intimate connections around you. But again, it's all happened so that you would get more aligned in your spiritual being, more aligned in believing that you have other options out there, especially when it comes to how you view things, how you view yourself. It comes at this expense of creating a deep love, seeing how you've worked hard from then until now. Never doubted, Aquarius. Starting from the bottom and working your way up is really hard. If I have a very independent Aquarius, you did double times the work to get here because you didn't have many people to lean on. You need to see the victory in that. And the victory was you took a gamble on yourself and you committed to yourself when you decided to walk away from ill people with ill intentions, to try and not be sucked into their cycle of how they see things, how they feel about things, and how they did not get to their purpose or their successes. Just know it takes a true trailblazer to walk the path that you have walked, Aquarius. Sit back, analyze that. Yes, from the logical view, but let your emotional being feel it. Let your physical being see how all along you were making moves to protect yourself. You were making moves to create stability for yourself. You were making moves to have this groundedness in your environment when it comes to the things that you have around you. Because you never gave up. No matter how people try to make you think that you had to be about them, you knew better and you followed your intuition. Alrighty, Aquarius, I hope this helps. This is going to conclude it though, so don't forget to thank your ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy for coming on in and helping out. And as always, I hope that you have a most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.